Alright everyone, hello, this is Vicente Versus, and I read a book called Les Miserables, and yeah, it was like almost a year. I checked it out in like August of last year, and yeah, so I'm about to talk to you about the book, and it's a novel for like the chosen ones, and I think it's like really good. So it's like 1,000 pages and 300 pages, and yeah. So so I'll start off with you. There's like characters. All right. So there was this escaped convict named Jean Valjean. So like he was like a galley slave for I forgot how long, but yeah. And he was put in prison for stealing a loaf of bread. And apparently he was like in like the city, and he was like looking for housing, or he tried to go to like whatever you call that, like yeah, so no one would take him. And like he came across this house, and it had news that he was like, or like these people like knew what he was. And so so the man had like he took out like a shotgun, and then he said, "Are you the one?" So that's pretty much like the early pages of the book. Yeah, I'm gonna be spoiling it. Yeah, spoilers. I know that was like really late into the video. So yeah. All right. So like he came across like this priest. And what was the priest's name? Maddalini. Monaster Maddalini. Okay. So he came across like the church somehow. I don't know when, but Jean Valjean found a church, and like I think he broke into it, or like he was like really nice. Maddalini was like very nice to him, and he would like do certain things, like even though he tried to steal, like, you know what, you could keep what did he steal? He stole like get off me. He stole like the money, the currency is like called francs or sous or something. Like I don't know how much he stole, but he stole like a candlestick and something like not a bunch of money, but like some coins. Yeah, I think that was it. But one time Maddalini was so nice that he like left the door open in his room, that a thief could just come in and just kill him. So that like, so one time when Maddalini was asleep, he came and tried to like cut his throat, but he didn't do that. So he just he left. And okay, we're gonna enter like the inspector that was trying to look after the escaped convict, and his name is what was his name? His name was, I'm trying to remember. It's an easy one. Holy moly, I forgot. Yeah. It was... His name was, what was his name? Damn. Like, I forgot his name. E F G. Look, a butterfly. His name was holy moly. Oh, his name was Javert. I remember now. His name was Javert. Yeah, it's Javert. Forgot his last name though, or if that was his last name. Yeah. So his last name was that. Alright. What was he doing? He was going after him. Oh, so like he so Jean Valjean, he turned into like this good person, and like he adapted to being like nice, or yeah. So he became like the priest, and he adapted his ways so that, yeah. And so yeah, so he adapted his ways, and he actually stole his name somehow. So he became Monacer Madalini, and he did some, like, he turned his life around. Like, he became a mayor. So the novel doesn't say, well, like, the place. So it just says M-M. So I called it Markarth Morrowind from the Elder Scrolls. So like he was like the mayor of that, and he like owned like shops or something. Like he became like a millionaire. Yeah. Like he became a millionaire. Or I don't know, he just became wealthy. And one time, So he became guilty. He started to feel guilty, and he ended up in this place where they were trying to do a trial, and one of his inmates that he was with, yeah, like, we're going on trial. So like he got like more things. Yeah, so he went in trial. Alright, so like he couldn't take it anymore. Like he had to confess at one point into like in front of the judges and everything. So like the people that suspected like this random person that was Jean Valjean. So like Jean Valjean had a tattoo and stuff. So he like lifted up his arm or something, and like he was trying to prove that he was like the convict this whole time. I'm gonna head this way. They're like, I know him, he is a faggot or something. It actually says that in the book. But yeah. Then yeah. And next, yeah, what was his name again? The inspector, Javert, was like in the stands or whatever, and yeah, that was that much. So next, he came across so he had a mission. I forgot how all this unfolded, but Jean Valjean, or Madeline, he well, once they figured out that he was an escaped convict, like he lost everything. Like even the mayor of the town and like his business went bankrupt after he confessed. So yeah. And we're gonna get into like these wealthy people, like that were like, yeah, just starting life. And there was like 4 girls in the hangout, like these women, and I forgot their names, but one of them was important, and her name was what was their name? Fantine. So apparently like she smashed this one dude named Theodule, and he just bounced after she got pregnant. And when the baby was born, her name was well, she has like, well, her nickname is Cosette, but I forgot her real name is. So like, the father figure just like left. Yeah, she just left. And he just left, yeah. just like splashed and dash. And so like Fantine had to take care of her child by herself, and it was really tough. So she became a prostitute, and yeah, what up next? Oh, so like one day she was like minding her own business, and yeah, so like she got mad at like this random person when it was snowing and cold. Oh yeah. So what she had to do with her child was like give them to like these two people called the Thenardiers, and they're like really not good people. Like they were like scamming her, and then they asked for like more money. More money, and yeah, so like she like left her in the care of the Thenardiers, and yeah. So yeah, the Thenardiers. So like yeah, she like cried so much. They didn't treat her really well at all. They like abused Cosette and stuff. She was like only, how old she was? She was like 5 at that time. Yeah. So like when things were getting better at some point for Fantine, when she got like enough money, like the Thenardiers, like she wanted Cosette back, but the Thenardiers didn't refuse to give her daughter back to her. It was like so messed up. So they lied about she's getting sick and stuff. So they raised up the price to like 200 francs or something, or sous. Yeah. 200 sous. And it became, yeah, it was like not good. So she had she sold her like her front teeth to like this merchant to get more money, and they still didn't bring her back to Fantine, to the mother. And so she got Fantine got like very sick, caught an illness, like a fever or something. It was really bad. And we're going back to Jean Valjean, aka M. Manalini. I think later in the story he actually gets another name, but I forgot what it was. But like, yeah, this person's like he stole like too many names. Yeah, too many names. Not many, but some. Just walk on nature, hoping I don't step on poop. Try my best. You know? Alright. So one time Jean Valjean he had a carriage, and he he went out. I don't know where he was going, but he came across this person named Fauchlevent, and he got into an accident. Fauchlevent. Yeah. So he was underneath the. He was underneath. He's underneath the carriage, and Jean Valjean had to pull him out. Like, he would have died if he didn't. So he saved him by crawling under the carriage, pulled him out, and he owed his life to him. So, yeah. So that character is like important to Jean Valjean, or I think that's his second name he steals. Yeah. So after that. So, okay, where should I go next? His next is next. Trying to think what happened next. All right, I remember this. So when Jean Valjean met Fantine, I forgot how they met exactly, but when she was like very sick in the bed, she kept thinking about Cosette, and she wrote like letters to like bring her to her, and if she sees Cosette, then she'll be cured of her illness. But that wasn't the case. Like, the Thénardiers didn't let her go. So it was Jean Valjean's. It was his mission to go get her, or pick her up from the Thénardiers, and an agreement letter, and it was gonna hand out the money to her. So he went out and tried to get her to come back, and like it took him like 4 days to go on the trip. But as he came back to visit Fantine, like he had to lie that like she was there, Cosette was with him, but she wasn't. And apparently Javert found Jean Valjean in the place they were in, the hospital, or yeah, they turned this place into a hospital. I forgot how it went, but like his house was the hospital. Not the hospital, but just the place. And yeah. And then so Jean Javert actually was by the door, and he opened the door and saw Jean, that he was there, and it reminded me of like Kira and Elle or something. For some reason. But yeah, so they arrested John in front of Fantine. And then Fantine was saying like I could hear my child playing in the outside or something. And then she took her last breath. Then John like kissed her hand or her forehead or something like that in the bed, and yeah, so she passed away. And John went back to prison. How long he was in prison for? Like over 10 years, I think. But yeah, he escapes again. But yeah, so in the middle of the book, it just talks about Napoleon for some reason, and like the battles of Waterloo. So next, he it talks about like battles, like people in France and Paris, how they fight in the wars of battles. I don't know, like the formations. I forgot, but it was a little interesting in that book, and I forgot how it went down. So I'm gonna get back to the better parts, to the ones I remember. Okay, what next? What next? Next. Yeah. I'll try to remember. What should I say next? Okay, how does he escape the second time? He escapes from saving another galley slave in the galleys. Like, he was like on top of the sails. Like, I forgot what he was doing, but he was tangled up in the rope and he could have fell to his death. So John just like think fast and like got him out of it. But he like faked his fall or something, landed in the water, and they couldn't find him. So like that's how he escaped. That's like the short version of what I remember. It's like, yeah. So his mission to get back Cosette came, and once he like came across like this theater. I don't know how, but I forgot what it was called, but it was like this theater stage, and he got into like some sort of vehicle and got into like the woods. And Cosette, he found Cosette at night at this town that she would get water at like midnight to like 11 p.m. or yeah, to get water from this fountain. She like has to walk like very far, then come back, and then bring it back to the Thénardiers for water. So one time they had like a customer, like, or someone just wanted like their horse with water. Like Cosette like failed to give the horse water, so she like got like abused. Yeah. And stuff like that. So as she was getting water, she came across this doll that she always wanted at the shop in the town, but yeah, she was only fascinated by that. She would usually just go under the tables and stuff. Like, she was really frightened. Okay. So as Jean was going to get Cosette, he actually met her when she was getting water from like this this area in the wilderness. She couldn't hold the bucket longer or anything. She was just about to pass out or something. But a person grabbed her hand, and that was John. And he helped her out, like asked her questions like what are you doing here or something. So yeah, that and Coldplay. Nothing. Yeah, so like they went back to the tavern and asked like to grab Cosette, or they asked like him questions and all that stuff. So they were like negotiating how to bring him Cosette and stuff. And they suspect him to be very rich. So like they made a deal. He actually got Cosette out of there in the morning or something. And so the Thénardier, the man, like chased after him after giving him like any money. And yeah, he ran after him. And then once he caught up to him, like he gave him the letter or the stuff. Like he was trying to change his mind, but it didn't go well. So John succeeded in getting her out of there. But like Thénardier he said something like he should have just bring his gun. So he wanted to assassinate him. And he wanted to ask him questions like how he got so rich. Alright, so yeah. How he got so rich. And what's next? Alright, yeah, this will be a long video. What's next? So he bought her the doll. John did. And yeah. So when they were trying to escape they came across this place, like a bridge. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, it was an important place, but yeah. He came across a convent full of nuns, and the place was called like the Pitypicus, and a salon where there was some weird people. First of all, when I was reading it, I thought it was like some demonic stuff, but yeah. Yeah, so he was trapped in the Pitypicus, and he was like at this corner. So he met before all this, John Javert's inspector crew was found John, and they were following him. Yeah, like agents. So he had to climb over this wall. He went into these many roads. He used the rope of a broken light pole, those street light poles or something. Used the rope out of it, and he threw it over the wall or something. Climbed his rope, tied Cosette to it, and got over. And he fell into the Covenant. That's how he got there. As he was there, there was a garden, and the gardener had a bell, so all he heard was a bell and stuff. Only to find out that person was Fauchelevent, the person he saved in the carriages. And yeah, that. So he got out, or no, he didn't get out. He stayed there, but he had to hide, and it was just the covenant was like filled with women, and yeah, they had like prayers and mass, and like they had like certain words and like a big phrase, but I forgot all of that. So yeah. So here's a weird part where like Falshevent was giving a task to bury some dead priest within the building, but that would go against the law or something. But they did it anyway. But the problem was to escape the empty casket. So Jean Valjean had an idea to bury himself alive, and that's what he did. So he went to a cemetery, and with Fauchelevent's help inside this cemetery, he said he knew the gravedigger, but apparently that gravedigger that he thought would be there actually passed away. And so as Jean Valjean was inside the casket being buried, he actually came in clutch and stole the key and got him. First he was trying to get him drunk using his own tactics, but he managed like to slip his hand out of the pocket and steal the key. So like he convinced the gravedigger that he left his key at his house, and yeah. So like he went away. He took off the dirt from the casket that he was inside the hole already. And yeah, Jean Valjean almost like couldn't breathe and stuff. So that's how he escaped death. Alright, so I gotta finish this up. This is gonna be a really long video. So there was an immute, and there was like a secret society. There was this person named what was his name? What is his name? Marcus. And who would later marry Cosette. And Marcus is like 21, and Cosette's like 16 or 18 or something. I know. FBI. Alright, so yeah, I forgot what age, but yeah. So they do get married, and John took care of her, and this whole time of his life, he just did his best to conceal his name. That Thénardier one time actually found him, tortured him under the name Fauchelevent and stuff, but he was managed to escape thanks to Marcus, who was in like the house or whatever they lived in nearby, actually got them. So Thénardier had like apparently like 4 kids and like didn't care anything about them at all. Like didn't care. He only thought about himself. And what was the kid's name that was like, I don't know, like the daughter's name? I think her daughter's name was Eponine. Yeah, Eponine. And like she pretended that she didn't notice that she was in the the same building with John, no, with Marcus. Like she looked in the mirror, did her hair when he was in this room to see if anyone was seeing this torture with other covenants, and yeah. So there was an emeute of all that like going on in Paris, and there was like a coup d'etat. I forgot what started all that. Yeah, a coup d'etat. And yeah, so Marcus like uh fell in love with Cosette after that, but they couldn't see each other. Like John was like very protective of her, and so the book tells you about like sparks, like and love interests, like how a girl becomes very feminine, and when they like someone or something. Yeah, I really like that part of the book. Like, kind of teaches you like in today's like uh having affection towards someone. So I like that part of the book. Okay, so like Marcus is like a lawyer, and he goes to like this college, or yeah. So like he like kind of sold all his money almost for some reason, I forgot, but yeah. So he tried to join the rebels, and then like he fought in the barricades. So John, like, he sent a letter to Gazette saying that he would like only die if, yeah, he'll only die if he couldn't see her again. But so John got the message from, what is his name, Bahorel, and yeah, like his friends of the ABC, Abbasi, and yeah, so John got upset, and like, so he went to the barricade where they had their hideout, and they're like fighting. So one of them, so they started killing each other, not John, and like, yeah, so this battle got like, yeah, so like his whole friends died. And so Marcus he survived by John. Yeah, by a close call. He fainted or something. Like, his other friend saved his life and died right in front of him and got shot. Like, shot clock cheese. And yeah. And he went into the sewers with John, but he was already passed out. Picked him up, and yeah, it was like a really long trip. Like, it was really crowded, and yeah. Talks about history about the Seine River. So he went down there, and yeah, and saved his life. And Thénardier was there, but he doesn't know he was getting, like, he went to the bars. He let him out, and that's it. So like, yeah. Rest is history. Oh yeah, he brought Marcus back to his house, and then he got patched up. Took him like, he was like in a coma for like, I don't know, over a month. I forgot. This happened like around June of 1830 something. Forgot. But yeah, that's where the book takes place, like the 19th century, early to like 1845 or something. Yeah. So as he got cleared from, the doctor said he was okay, and yeah, so they got married, and his uncle was there. First of all, Marcus's dad like passed away right in front of him. I know that's sad, but yeah, that's what happens. And he was like a Republican, like they were like so into politics. Yeah. I turn around and I see the sun shining. Okay, so what next? And like they were all about the marriage and stuff. So like after Cosette got married to Marcus, John like oh yeah, so During the barricade, Javert was there with John, and he was held prisoner from the troops, but John was there to execute him. So he brought him over the wall and fake executed him and shot the his gun into the air. So he let him live. And for that, Javert saw he changed in his heart, and he didn't know what to do with his life anymore. So he threw himself into the river. So the inspector is gone from doing that. And what's next? So Thénardier, he kept that a secret. He confessed to Cosette that he was a escaped convict all his life at age 90 or something. And he passes away in front of him, says like, take care of Cosette to Marcus and like everything. And he says like the 600,000 francs was yours, but he gave it away to Thénardier to know the truth that John was the one that saved his life. And yeah, but he gave away. So Thénardier, he lost like his daughters and his wife probably, I think. So he became like a slave owner in New York after he got his money, what he got. But yeah, so they buried John into like the same cemetery, but the stone was unmarked, and yeah, it said something in French, and I don't know what it translates to, but yeah, that was the whole story. Yeah. All right, guys, like and subscribe if you hit the like button, and it will help with the YouTube algorithm. And I'll get on to my next project. All right, see, peace.